I convinced my wife she only had a few weeks left to live. She didn't react the way I expected. Okay, so before you think I'm a total asshole, you should know Stacy and I both have super fucked up senses of humor. For example, last Halloween, I came home late and called for her on my way into the kitchen, where a killer clown popped up from behind the center island and charged after me waving a noisy chainsaw. Stacy didn't pull off her mask until I was alongside my Volvo struggling to wrangle the keys from my pocket, on the verge of a heart attack. So yeah, this was simply the latest in a series of over-the-top pranks. It started 3 weeks ago when Stacy got sick. Her GP gave her the dreaded, "It's probably nothing but just to be safe let's do a very serious brain scan." Waiting for the results was absolute torture. Every so often she asked me to randomly hold her, and I noticed her eyeballs were constantly puffed out and red. Today, the doc called our landline because he couldn't reach my better half's mobile. When I asked about the results, he said he couldn't tell anybody except the patient, although he strongly implied we could look forward to a pleasant Christmas. That gave me an idea for a prank, so I grabbed some pictures of a brain scan from Google, printed them off, and slipped them into an envelope. I was at the lounge table looking all sullen whenever Stacy got home. She asked what was wrong. I held up the scans. The doctor called. "Your condition's terminal." Surprisingly, she didn't burst into tears. She just grabbed a nearby vase and bashed me over the skull with it. I was so surprised I didn't have time to stop her. Everything turned black until the words, "I love you," penetrated the haze. I blinked away the blurred vision, only to find my hands bound. Stacy's right temple was pushed up against my left, and she had a pistol in her hand, angled so it would blast clean through both our frontal lobes. She told me she couldn't bear to think about me carrying on without her and starting another family. "We have to go together," she kept saying. By now the mind mist had lifted enough that I could scream, "It's just a prank." She pulled away, shocked. I told her the doctor implied she'd be fine, so I decided to have a little fun. For several seconds, she didn't utter a single word. Then, she forced a smile and said, "You're such a jokester. Let's forget this happened. How about Thai for dinner?" With that, she wandered into the kitchen. While I sat there, breathless, the phone rang again. It was the doctor, and he sounded grimmer this time. "I'm really sorry about this, but we mixed up the results. Can you have your wife call me as soon as possible? It's urgent." "Who was that, honey?" Stacy asked as she shuffled back into the room. I put down the phone and gulped. "Nobody.